And 3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back to the Kickback Podcast. As y'all see, we got a special guest with us today. It's your boy Chris Lee and your boy So Lee. And I got your boy Mr. Mark Robinson over here. This right here is another one of my brothers from another mother, man. These boys right here, man. We met at different points in life, and these I consider these brothers, man, the brohams. So we have a lot of good conversations, man, behind the scenes, and I'm like, you know what? One of these days, I'm gonna see can I get this set together, man, because I know the conversation is going to be pretty damn epic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A lot of y'all don't know this, but this episode is pretty much a actual announcement for my King of Gamers tournament part 2. The first one was shortly advertised online. I think we had a live going on back then when it was going, and we had episode catered to that about a year ago. And Mr. Soley and Mr. Mark was there as well. And we had so many different games going, 3 or 4 TVs going. We had pretty much any fighter you can think of, Madden, 2K, Ninja Turtles. It was just like, just guys, all of us in our 30s, just remembering like it was back in the days when you stayed at your friend's house, stayed up all night gaming.
Yeah.
These two brothers right here, however, has had some of the most epic matchups because we played a game many of you millennials may not know, but it's called Fight Night. Fight Night's a boxing game for those who don't know, and I thought I was pretty nice at it. I thought I held my own. I kind of dubbed myself one of the greats when it comes to fighters, but I was very humbled when I met Mr. Mark for the first time about how well I was on the sticks. I had to reevaluate my placement in history. And then I was shortly humbled after that when I got Fight Night with Mr. Soul Lee. And he don't even own the Xbox, nor had one in years, and just really bullied me on the sticks the whole time. I even had to pretend like I had to go to sleep, and just to get off the sticks. Man, he was relentless. So when these two matched together, I knew it was going to be King Kong Godzilla style, and it damn sure was. And them boys went toe to toe. And it was something special. So with that being said, laying down the groundwork, I'm going to start with our guest, Mr. Mark. Brother, what got you into fighting games like fighters? What was the game that got you into that?
Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Okay.
I came up with the regular Nintendo and the before the Sega Genesis came out, and when they came out, the Street Fighter 2 and the Mortal Kombat, that's what got me into it. It was so competitive, and as ugly as it is now, back then it was impressive, especially for Mortal Kombat, for you to see some kind of blood after you hit somebody. So that's what got me into fighter games, and then of course you get pretty good at one of them, and you keep going. But I wasn't just average good, so I was like, man, I'm gonna see if I can compete with it. And
Right.
sure enough, as soon as I did, it was a matter of history after that.
Right.
The trouble for everybody. I was amazed.
Yeah. You was the champion down here too, right?
Yeah, for Street Fighter.
Yeah.
For Street Fighter, they didn't ever have a Mortal Kombat tournament, so that wasn't something I could go and compete in. But Street Fighter, I almost went to Vegas.
Wow.
Due to child circumstances, man, I had kids, man. It was something I could just take off for work and go do. I needed money for my kids, so I
Yeah.
couldn't go make that trip. But yeah, I almost made it to Vegas, man. I beat everything in Richmond County, and then we went to was it was Monroe,
Mm-hmm.
and then Charlotte, and then the next one was supposed to be in Vegas, but I didn't make it there.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty damn solid. Like to be and people to put that in hindsight, to put that like in a bigger spectrum. That's multiple gamers per city that this brother had to just stomp through to get
Yep.
that title. This ain't just
Wow.
one guy per city. This is multiple gamers that all were nice, and
Yep.
he kind of like stepped over him. You know what I mean? Kind of, and went to Vegas. Like pretty much got rid of Carolina. So like I'm going to the next step. And so that's pretty solid, man. So Mr. Soul Lee, man, what got you into fighters?
Oh shoot, man. Well, like Mark, I had Mortal Kombat, and I used to go to the laundromat with my mom. Whenever she needed to wash, like as a kid, and they had this Street Fighter game. You know how they used to have the games in the laundromat or wherever. You put your quarter in. So man, I used to be on there like for hours just playing the games, and wasn't until my mom she ain't had no more quarters except for the wash clothes. And so man, I used to be on there, man, and then I finally got the game, and I was like, and I've always been a gamer, which a lot of people don't really know that about me, but Street Fighter, that was, I think that was my first love. Then I moved on into Mortal Kombat, and that's a whole nother beast, especially like Mark said, with the blood and everything, with the gore. It was so different. It was so different around that time. So yeah, man, and I've been hooked ever since. And then for like well, we'll get into the other part, but yeah, those two, it's what did it for me.
That's cool, man. Just to hear y'all talk about y'all stories, man. We all kind of like started at the same point with Street Fighters. My story is very similar to Mr. Soul Lee's as well, because I remember my mom used to go wash clothes as well, and I guess that's the console or the arcade of choice for the laundromats, because that's what I played, and I think I played with DJ originally, because as any other black child growing up in the early '90s or the '80s, you found a character that looks similar to you, and you kind of rock with that to see how that works. And I had DJ, and I did all right. But then I picked the boxer, which I forgot their name. He was pretty much got the box name off Street Fighter, the big guy. They made him after. Yeah, that's right. They made him after Mike Tyson, and I picked him, man. And I was punching heads in, and and of course I moved over to Mortal Kombat, just like y'all. And some of my favorite players was Jax, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, etc. And man, I remember when the PlayStation 1, Dreamcast actually. I never forget, my dad got me a Dreamcast, and one of the first games I played on the Dreamcast, and mind you, at the time when Dreamcast first came out, the graphics on Dreamcast was miles ahead of anything else.
Yeah.
So that was like a next-gen console back in this time. And the game I played was DOA, Dead or Alive. And that game changed the format for gaming for me, because it wasn't just a 2D fighter. You can knock people off bridges and off cliffs and off ledges, and they had the replay camera where you kind of like double back when so it's pretty solid. And then of course when Tekken came out, Tekken was PlayStation era, man. I spent many of days learning how to do combos with Tekken, and that's just pretty much was it for me, just like you all. So yeah, that's what got me into it. So now when we talking about games and fighters and consoles, may I ask you this: was I the only one back in the days where you go to the store and you go get the book, the magazine with the cheat codes in it? Remember those back in the days where you get the magazine that may have with the combinations of different games. You just kind of grabbed it. Okay, I'm gonna bust some heads when I learn this, But I remember, and maybe I'm the only one to remember this, I remember they used to come out with demo games that was in the magazine, tiny little demo games, and it wasn't all that much, but you buy the magazine, get a little demo game, and I used to take the demo games out. But that's how old I am, people. But yeah, man. Those games were fun. So let me ask y'all this. We talking about King of Game and King of Fighters, man. Like consoles. We all think we roughly came around the same era of console. Back in the days, man, like we all started on different ones. What was your console of choice back then? You had the Sega, you had the PlayStation. Well, no, the Sega and the Super Nintendo. So, what was your game of console of choice back then, or what was the one that y'all leaned towards more?
For me, it was Sega. Sega had the 16-bit. They were the first to do that, and it was like a graphic boost.
Right.
So if you wanted a little more seriousness in your gaming, then Sega was the way to go back then. Because I remember Mortal Kombat being on Super Nintendo and Sega, but you wouldn't get no blood on Super Nintendo.
That's right. That's right.
And the controller for me is better. Like that's my gaming choice now. Like if the controller is formed where I can move my fingers better, then I'll go with that one. And back then it was Sega. Their controller was bigger than Super Nintendo's.
Right.
So for me, it was back then it was Sega.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. Sega. I love Sega's controller. But I didn't have it, but so I would say the Super Nintendo. Because I had a Sega, but I didn't own a Super Nintendo. And what's that game, Chris, that we went down to Atlanta that I kept smashing you in. I'm sorry I had to
oh yeah. Yeah, I told y'all he was bullying me. Y'all
tell the truth. Tell the truth, man. Tell the truth.
It was called something instinct. What is it called?
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, yo, that was my game. I used to go over some family house and play Killer Instinct, man, and y'all used to get it in, man. So I love Super Nintendo, but I understand what Mark is saying about the Sega. But I'm gonna go with Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, mine was Sega because of a deciding factor that changed it all up for me in gaming, and that was Sonic the Hedgehog. That changed it up for me because the fighters, like you said, you could play on either console, but Sonic's was like the first platform game that made that torn people between the two systems. Like I love Sonic and I love Mario, but Sonic got a better soundtrack to me. Yeah. It's a little more faster. The boards are a little more vibrant, a little more colorful. You can play 2 players. You can play as Tails. So it really kind of gave you a little bit more of an edge. And that's why, and don't get me wrong, I love the Super Nintendo, the Mario sagas. I remember NBA Jams I had on the Super Nintendo. That was one of my favorite basketball games. When you hit the turbo, the sneakers light up. He broke the backboard. The commentators. It was really, you only had 2 players too. You only had 2 guys. Well, no 5, it was just 2 guys. You had your shooting guard, your point guard, or your center and your shooting guard, however you want to do it. But you only had 2 players and you just run through it. And you kind of made it to the championship. But the crazy thing about that was if you somehow cut the game off, or if you lose a game, there's no restart, there's no checkpoint. you out of the playoff, just like real life.
You out.
And like it was many serious games where me and my cousin would get into the playoffs and we would like leave the TV on and like tell every adult in the house, sit them down individually, don't mess with this TV. Because when we get back from church, we're gonna finish this game because we're in the playoffs. And playoffs, I know we're in the playoffs. I know, thank you, but we're in the playoffs. We gotta get the champion. And I never made it to the championship because somebody always cut the TV off to watch Walker, Texas Ranger or something crazy. So we end up getting to the house and realize, oh my God, what did you do? We all had that moment back in them days where you couldn't save and the power go out or something happens and the TV go off. Oh my God. Hours, nothing. I put 20 hours in this for nothing. My life is going. So hats off to whoever the person who created Game Save to save everybody's lives. Because could you imagine if that was still a thing now? Especially us grown with kids and jobs and careers. Like we just quit gaming altogether,
What?
You mean I couldn't save none of this? Yeah, man.
Baby done went by there and turned the game off or picked the controller up and then did something she wasn't supposed to. Oh my God.
Oh my God. The wife cut the TV on, thinking she going to another channel but cut the game
Oh
off.
God.
Oh my God. It's just a game. It's just a game. No, it's not just a game. How would you feel if you watch a whole episode of Love and Hip Hop? You at the 20-minute mark and it starts all the way over. You have no choice but to watch it all the way over. You feel upset. Yeah, those are the eras, man. I remember, and I want to ask Soul first. I remember when you could trade games with your buddies. So if your buddy had a game that you didn't have, you go to school and be like, "Hey, man, let borrow your game. I'm gonna trade this with you." What was one of the games that y'all wanted as a child but just couldn't get your hands on? What video game?
Let me see. It took me a while to get. It was either Mario Kart, 64, or 007 GoldenEye, or Diddy Kong Racing, which was all for 64. Right. So, and my cousin had all of them. My cousin had all of them. So I used to want to trade and everything. But yeah, those three, and I ended up getting all of them just because, of how they of how the battles we used to have, growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How about you, Mr. Mark?
One of the games was, I don't know if y'all know anything about it, but it was Sunset Riders.
I do remember that, yeah.
And it was about the little cowboys and a cowboy and a Mexican, but they was going to shooting shooting people.
Right.
Going through like I don't know if it's like a running gun, I want to say, but that was one, and another one was Alien Soldier. I couldn't get my hands on that neither because it was mainly like a European game, but that was one I could get my hands on till later. But one thing, just to add on to it, man, another advantage Sega had, man. Did y'all get the Sega Channel back in the day? Back when when I was a kid, man, we used to go to the school like y'all did and trade games, but if you had Sega Channel, man, they gave you like, I want to say 30 to 40 games every month to play. I don't know how much the subscription was, but you just turn your system on and it was through your cable company. And you could play, it'd be like 40 different games, but they would always switch them up the next month. So you might not have the same games the next month. That was the only bad thing about it. But if it was a game you couldn't get your get your hands on and wanted to play it, it might come through that Sega Channel. So that was a good thing with them too.
So you pretty much had was like part of the first wave of Game Pass. Like that's the original Game Pass. Right. I didn't know that. I swear I did not thought I knew. Wow.
First wave, and that was in the 90s, man. You could probably pull it up if you Googled it, but yeah, that Sega Channel was something awesome. I don't know why they stopped it. Yeah, probably because people were losing money and stopped buying games if you can get it for free.
Well, I can imagine that because there was no subscription base to it. Probably.
Right.
Because if it's through your cable channel, they probably got a kickback off of cable subscriptions.
Oh, snap. Yo, it says Sega Channel launch date was December 14th, 1994.
Told you.
Wow.
God. Wow. That joke was dope. That joke was dope, man.
Wow, bro, that's a moment in history. I think about 80% of us gamers didn't know about. Didn't remember. We probably didn't remember because a lot of people probably gonna watch this and be like, "Yo, I remember that."
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember that. I ain't. Well, we had cable. We had basic cable. You know what I'm saying? We had those premium channels. I don't think I got that in my package.
But hey, y'all, look, it didn't stop until 1998.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. It was going for a while. In '98, I want to say. What probably stopped it is probably when did the PlayStation come out? Because when PlayStation came out, Man, when PlayStation came out, that ruined Sega. Nintendo still was popping, but that ruined them. Because that disc with all them realistic graphics, man, that's what killed them.
Plus, this, you used to get a CD. You can get a CD, like a demo, like a disc with Sega, and you can play it all the time. Then, and it had a good look. I think about 20 games on there. It could be a little less, but they always had it on there.
You're right. Yep.
Man, that's crazy because I do remember that when the PlayStation 94 actually. 94, December 3rd, 94, which is crazy. I didn't know it was that old. Oh man, just keep reminding myself how old I am. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's solid because I remember when the PlayStation was first announced. I remember the commercials. I remember I used to watch Martin in one of the commercial breaks. I remember this commercial because it back then. Commercials back then, the marketing back then was so OP to where whatever they were selling, you had to have it. Whatever the hell it was, you had to have it. And I remember one of the commercials, they sold these old, rich grandparents, and this child was staying with the grandparents like, I'm bored. And they was telling him stuff to do, and they were like, I'm bored. And it was like, he was trying to tell them about the PlayStation. They, what is this PlayStation? And the child was telling them about the PlayStation features, and they were showing what the PlayStation did. And I remember watching that commercial, I'm like, this ain't no Nintendo. This ain't no Sega. This is something different here. And I'm looking like there's a new console out. I didn't know this was possible, So I go to school and one of my good friends of mine had it, and he would say, yeah, this is what it does. It does all this, and it could play music through regular CDs. It could play regular CDs. Yeah, it can play regular CDs. And I'm like, just imagining in my head like a jukebox or something with controllers because I didn't see it per se. And I'm like, I want this PlayStation, whatever the hell it is, I want it. And I want to say I got it 2 years later. And when we got it, the first game I got with it was the demo joint. And the demo joint, each game, you can play at least maybe 20 minutes, maybe. And then that's it. Like, it doesn't even give you, like, thanks for playing. It just, and back to the main screen. Like, Yeah, man. So I remember those days. I remember a lot of us kids who got the PlayStation had that demo, and the parents like, better play that shit the next pay period. Play the hell out of them games until I get paid again. The game's expensive, and you play them 20 minutes per game religiously. You like until you nice as hell the first 20 minutes of every game until you get the actual game. Like, damn, there's more to this.
Right.
Yeah. But I do remember that, man. The PlayStation did change it up though, because I remember when the PlayStation came out, that was the console for those who were like in their teens. It was like as you was evolving, you growing up, the PlayStation marketing was towards the older crowd because Nintendo was always geared towards the family, the younger crowd. Anybody could play Nintendo, and the Sega was pretty much the grandfather at that point because the Sega phased out because of the fact that it had no more marketing. The marketing originally was for the older crowd. But then PlayStation came out, so hold my beer, I got this. I play regular CD player. You still got cartridges, And it changed it up. It changed it up. Yeah. Do you all remember when you're going to Walmart or like your like Targets and stuff back in the days, they had the controller with the demo games at the game cage. Man, like you can play the little demos of the game and you like your mama shopping or your parents, hey, do your thing. I'll be right here.
Stand up all day.
Yeah, the whole day, just standing there, just playing the game, just looking up.
Right.
I remember those. The kids don't have that luxury. They don't understand how lucky they are with gaming now, man. Because we seen the dawn of gaming. We see gaming come to life. With Atari, like we was right at the tail end of the Atari life cycle, which nobody really playing that shit. But then when it kind of moved over to Nintendo, we was right there to see it be unveiled for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see where it started out with 16 bits as the next gen graphics to games at 720p was like on the 360, and the PlayStation 3 era was like next gen. Now you got 4K. You looking like, man, like what a time.
And VR.
And the VR, like what a time to be alive, man. Like gaming over 30 is hard. Like, you can't stop gaming because I feel like we invested our lives into this. Why can't we reap the benefits of what it is now? Why should we put the controllers down? Be like, I got to be all serious now, and men don't play games.
Yeah.
Well, our community, man, they always equate video gaming with child's play.
Yeah.
That's something kids do. So that's why they expect you when you get grown to put a video game down. But let's get to the fact that it was adults that made this video game.
True.
It wasn't no kids that made it. One like I was outside and let's play hide and seek. We just made up our rules on that. It was some adults that made the video games. And if they had a great idea to make it, why can't you have fun playing it?
And black adults too.
Black adults too.
Yeah.
Say that, bro.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. There you go. There you go, Sully. Drop that Jew. Drop that mic. Talk your smack, boy. Don't be humble with it. Talk your smack.
Heck yeah, man. That I love video gaming, and my wife graciously doesn't say anything about about it, and I am so thankful for that, man, because I have been around and been with women that is like, man, Jesus Christ, you ain't no man, you over there still playing video games, you're a little boy. I almost call you a B.
Yeah, that's something. I think with gaming over 30 now, it's one of those moments where you can pretty much like put life and this and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I would like to bravely speak for all of us and say there's a reason we cling on to our old childhood, games or old childhood cartoons and TV shows and movies, and because that was a time where things wasn't so serious. There was a time where things wasn't in the balance of, I gotta be grown. It's like you generally had fun. That's all you was responsible for, was having fun. And as you grow up, life get real. You get bills, you have jobs, you have relationships, and you remind yourself this is a time when the world wasn't so serious. This is a time when the world didn't waste so much. And not only that, but now we are in a financial situation to where we're the ones that can choose what we purchase and what we don't purchase. Back then, mom and dad, don't you touch that, we ain't buying that. You had to hear no so many times growing up. Now you can buy what you want. I'm gonna buy that Turbo Man doll that I seen in Jingle all the way because I got the money to buy it. I want to buy these pops that Alan got me addicted to now, and I'm spending all the money on now. Shout out to Alan. But he got us all on the pop wave. So you find yourself buying things that you would have as a child, but you like, now I get to have all of this at my fingertips. And it's just one of those things where this is our happy place. We don't bother nobody. We don't go out here in these streets, run these streets and get ourselves in trouble, getting bailed out of jail and out of jail. Wives got to worry about where we at 2:00 in the morning and we with somebody. We in that man cave or we in that living room or in that bedroom playing that game to our heart's content. We straight, we safe. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we do to unwind. This is an unwind thing. We have a stressful day at work or a stressful week. I want to get on this game, bust some heads, and just have a good time, and that's just where I'm at with it. But that's how I feel with gaming over 30. It's just kind of like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Me, man, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying it's definitely a release.
Heck yeah, man. And that's just what I want to do personally. It ain't gonna stop over 30. We're gonna be next time we'll be talking about over 40. And then over 50, I think it's gonna keep going forever, but for me it is. I don't think I'm gonna ever stop gaming.
I don't think I will either, man. And unless if they do it like off that Black Mirror episode. I don't know if y'all seen that. Bro. If they start doing that, I think I'll retire. I don't want to play no more. I ain't want no more. I don't want the bro. Nah, we good. Bro,
man, you know how
I haven't.
Yeah.
You know how when we were younger, man, we were like so impressed by some of the stuff that was coming out for us back then. Even as simple as the Sonics and the Marios and stuff. But we were impressed by the graphics and the gameplay for that. And now we look at it like, man, that was terrible graphics. It was terrible art. What's freaky is 20 years from now, our kids gonna look at the stuff we playing right now, looking at it like,
right,
that ain't all that nice, you know.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what that look like.
I know.
4K. Ugh, how y'all can see with 4K?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I just want to be capable of still playing what they're going to play. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's like 8K or whatever, I want to still be good. You know, that I can be in something. Yeah, instead of like having the jitters and can't hold up a hold a controller.
I get it. I might be gave it up by then if I got them jitters.
If I got I got more serious problems, like how the hell am I wipe my ass in this bathroom? I got more serious problems.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I'm still coming for you, Mark. I'm still coming for you.
Hey man, I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro, for somebody that don't play that game at all, and it still made us struggle. Cause I play Fight Night, you know what I mean? You made us struggle. Cause you whooped everybody's ass that night, man. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say. I can say I don't know if I can. Cause
you can. He did. He whooped everybody. Everybody. He went around the room multiple times.
Multiple times.
He went around the room so many times. People just start walking outside because they were scared he was gonna pass from controller and take a smoke break. He just came back. I saw slowly trying to hand me the controller again. He stayed on that system. He stayed on the Xbox like he held it down. Nobody moved him off it. Nobody had to move him off the box. He just sat there like, "Oh, you won't play with? You gotta get through this first."
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like that was his corner. That was Soli's corner. I'm like, he just held
what
it down.
What games are you doing this tournament?
I want to change it up a bit. I want to kind of focus more on Street Fighter because Street Fighter is gonna come out. So that's why I'm trying to do it around that time. But I think Street Fighter comes out in May, right? May. So I'm trying to do it around that time before it comes out because I'm gonna pre-order it. And when you pre-order, you get early access. So I want to do it around that time as well. More to come back. And you have another fighter that I know some of you, I know Mark definitely heard of it, but it's called oh my God, King of me and you got it on the Xbox together. King of something.
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters, that's right. King of Fighters tournament is King of Fighters. That's right. So the King of Fighter actual game, and that's why I want to do that one because that was gonna be part of the theme as well. But we also have different divisions too as well, like we did last time. So we're gonna have King of Gaming. It's gonna be pretty much all different type of games. So we're gonna have Madden, we're gonna have 2K. So like my brother-in-law, Devin and all the other gamers who only play, sport games, we got them for you too. So don't feel like I ain't gonna show up because we got them for you too. And we gonna try to do more like I'm gonna have I'm gonna Call of Duty. Have Call of Duty as well, so we can play like local matches. So I'm gonna try to have more of a diversity because not everybody are fighters. In fighting, a lot of people play different type of games. We can't assume every gamer is the same type of gamer. So and just because you don't play one type of game doesn't mean you're not a quote unquote real gamer. So we got to kill that stigmatism. We got a lot of gamers in these groups that we're a part of. You don't play this, or you're not a gamer. No, I mean I just not into the games you into. So but yes, it's going to be quite a few different ones. Now we're going to do it differently this time. We're going to do like admissions, like $10 a head, or $10 per game you play. And the reason why that is, before people are like, oh my God, we charge to come in. But the reason why that is because at the end of each match, you do like a bracket style. Whoever wins out of that game, you get the pot. you know. So whatever money's in that pot, that's what you get. So if there's
Right.
$300 in that pot, then you walking out with $300, you know. And so, and all you had to pay was maybe $10 to $30 if you want to pay, you know, fighting or whatever. So all fighters is just a 10 flat out for the fighters. But if you want to play 2K or sports related sports, that's $10. And, you know, games like Call of Duty, that's $10. So any of those ones you want to play, it's a $10 admission. But we're doing it because we want to collect the pot. We want to give it more incentive for those who are coming a long ways, you know, to come, like solely got to come all the way from Durham, you know, to come down. So we want to make it to where we're not just wasting gas money just to spend times with the bros. We want to make sure Solely can come back home and tell Ty, like, look, if I make it $300, we're going out, you know. So and it's likewise for Mark, you know. So we want to kind of make it more fun. I'm gonna try to get like some championship belts. I'm gonna try to order some belts. I'm gonna try to order like some little trophies or something. So we'll take pictures and have the champions holding their prize along with their belt, their bragging rights. So we want to make it a little bit more, you know, of an event, way more of an event than it was last time. Because the first time was so much fun, man. Like you had so many people, man. Alan was over here. Shout out to Alan, my boy. Randy was over there. My father-in-law, Rob, Devin, these two boys here. I think maybe we had a few more heads over there as well that popped in.
Crystal cooking that good meal.
Yeah, Crystal was cooking. Yeah, she cooked for everybody, man. Yeah. And another thing is for those who drank 2 tequila shots, which is my wife's business, or pop up there as well. So you'll get to have mixed drinks as well this time around. So, but keep in mind, don't drink too much because Solely go take advantage of that and still whip your ass. So if he don't drink,
drink all you want, y'all.
He doesn't drink. He gonna take advantage of that. But with that being said, man, that's probably gonna be. And I'm want to advertise it a lot too. So and I want to talk to y'all behind the scenes too because I want to do like a rematch, like a boxing type of rematch, layout with y'all. You know, interview y'all individually. Let y'all talk y'all smack, do y'all little backstories, you know, whatever, man. And kind of have the main event. So, you know, because we're gonna make y'all to the main event and have the epic rematch there around these two brothers here. So we're gonna try to do it Facebook Live too. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, you need anything to go towards your I guess championship belts and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Honestly, man, nah, man. Just show up. Just show up. Only thing I ask for the participants is just like I said, if you want to play multiple different genres of games, just keep in mind it's $10 a pop. So that's the only thing I ask. If you want to play, you know, different ones, but the reason why, because everybody's not going to be sharing the same pot. It will be unfair if the fighters, you know, if you're a sport person, you won in sports, but you don't get it because this person won the fight. So everybody have their own pot. Right. So that way make it a little fair. So that's all I ask. If you want to come, you want to jump in different ones. We do the admissions at the door or prior to. If you want to cash at me prior to, you can just kind of tagline, hey, I'm going to see 20 because I don't do fighters in sports or fighters or whatever. Or if you get there at the door, you say, no, I changed my mind. I want to do fighters and this. You know, well, you already paid yours, so you're going to do your thing. And like I said, we're doing that just to kind of make it a incentive for the gamers, man, to make it more fun because we play a little bit more seriously with money on the table. And if we only invested $10 to $30 and with the option to triple that, yeah, we're going to have us a good time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man.
Have you talked to everybody that's coming?
I talked to y'all too. I talked to Alan. Alan said he's down to let him know. I talked to a couple other classmates about it as well. So they say just kind of let them know on the date. They'll see if they can drop by as well because as you know, we all work, we all got families. So I'm thinking about doing it. I was thinking about May, the end of May, but honestly, I might try to do it around the first week of June. And the reason why I'm saying it because that's when the Street Fighter come out. Street Fighter come out June 2nd. So I wanted to do it where the Street Fighter first come out. That'll be one of the games we playing, as well. So because the end of May, the 1st of June, same like it's a week after, So and I give everybody time to kind of like move things around. We know we got wives, we got families, and as you know, as family mans ourselves, we just can't up and go like we want to. Want to make sure everybody know where I'm gonna be at. I'm probably gonna be here a little while. But I want to try to do it on a Sunday if possible, because that way, and then I know we got church goers and then Sean played for church as well, and you attend. So I'm trying to do it to where we got an all day process, to where we can start early, or maybe a Saturday. I mean, I get the collective together and come up with a vote, but I want to do it where we start early to where you ain't got to be 12 o'clock at night explaining to your wife, look, I'm almost about to win. So we could just kind of start it early. That way we could cut out a little early. If you want to sleep on the couch, we got plenty of room. So do your thing.
What's early?
Early, well, if we're doing it Sunday, I'll say early, probably around like 3.
3 to what?
Probably 3 to, I don't know, man. Probably like 3 to 10, maybe. Depends. I mean, I want to shoot.
Crystal gonna let us play that long?
Oh yeah.
Crystal let us be there that long?
Yeah, Crystal's like the co-ambassador of the Kingdom of Gaming. So yeah, she's cool with that. But I say that because that's why I say it early, so that way we got a little bit of daylight. We can start early, man, and we can just really kind of like play around with it. But I mean, if you have to go, whatever, if you're not in the tournament, then if you just kind of casually playing, you don't care about winning, you leave whatever. But if you're looking for that bag, then till the last man standing. But again, I bring what's that?
My brother, I was about to say it would be crazy if we had to play in,
Mm-hmm.
Like we do like a play in.
Oh, like a stay overnight thing?
No. Like how the NBA does, like.
Oh, you play to see can you qualify?
Right.
Well, that would be good. But here's the thing, though. I think between y'all two, nobody get in though. It'd just be y'all. So I don't think it's fair with the game.
Not against us, man. But
okay.
I don't know. Play the computer or something like that. And if you beat the computer with such and such stats, then okay. Right. I see what Soleil's saying. That probably would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah, man.
Not against us though, man. You is wild.
Okay. I'm saying, tournament, man. We try to make some out of this, not bully everybody.
Put everybody on that fight night with him. Ain't nobody getting in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just put Soleil on there, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Put him up there.
Come on, y'all. Ain't nobody gonna put no money in. Ain't nobody gonna put no money in.
Well, see, they put money up. They're like, I ain't gonna lose gas money. I can't lose gas money. I can't
go man.
But that would be cool, man. And what we probably do up until that day, I try to make again, this is all spitballing. I might make an actual Facebook page towards this and kind of have our gamers to share some of the game footage, gameplays, and stuff like that. Just kind of like add more coverage to it because I want this to be pretty big. I want to do this every year, man. And me and Crystal came up with the idea. Eventually, we might get a venue if it gets big enough to where we can kind of invite like communities into it as well, and kind of still do the emissions, but that way you have a bigger pot, more people playing, and do our own events. So that way, you can do your own thing.
Yeah.
So
everything got to start from ground one, ground zero.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about the fighting games anymore, but if you announce anything sports wise, I know them jokers is coming. Especially if you do it like all over Richmond County or all over Cheraw or whatever, they coming. Especially if it's a sport.
Oh yeah, my brother-in-law, man, he plays religiously 2K and Madden, man, and then they bet all the time. I mean, he wins sometimes, he lose sometimes, but he win most of the time. But it's one of those things I like. You know what? You're doing it on that scale. Think about a bigger scale. But I don't want to put all my secret sauce out there so I can run off my idea. Just know, timestamp this king of gaming is my thing. All right, people. So but with that being said,
shots.
Yeah. So we want to make it something fun, man, because the bros, we don't really get to link up as much, but when we do link up, ironically, we all game, so that's something we can all link up with doing, and but yeah, man, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to get y'all boys back into the ring, if you would say, to see who could come out on top, man, and it's fun, man. We want to get Mr. Soli on more games than just fight now. We don't want him just a corner that. We're going to put him on some Street Fighters. We can put him, we can break him in, put him on some other games as well.
And that was my first time playing that other one that
Killer Instinct?
No, not Killer Instinct, but the one with the Hulk.
Marvel versus Capcom.
That was my first time playing that one, yo. That one
was fun. Marvel vs. Capcom is probably one of my favorite fun games. This is not as intense, but it is fun to play. I love it. The three-player lineup is pretty solid. I might bring that one back out too, and this time around I'm gonna bring out Smash Brothers. So Mario's so for Nintendo fans, bring that out as well. And kind of get that going, man. So it's gonna be fun, man. People gonna talk about it because I'm gonna have it live. I'm gonna have somebody to do live because I'm gonna jump on the sticks. I've been doing a lot of hosting, but I'm gonna jump on the sticks too. Play a little bit, whatever, and try to get my little rematch, with Soli as well. But we definitely have a ball, man. But
I'm gonna get with you off camera and give you some of these suggestions that we didn't mess with last time. So
I think man, it'd be fun. I'm open for it because right now it's just pretty much an open conversation at this point, and we just tacking on ideas as we go. Because every day I wake up, that'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's something that we can really use, man. It's especially in the gaming climate and the way it is now with so much games coming out, so many different fighters coming out, man. A lot of games, we can play online, but it's better to be able to pass the control to your brother next to you, old school, our era. We didn't do online. It wasn't online back in our days, kids. You want to play with your buddy, they had to come to your house. You had to go to their house, and in the basement, on the garage, on the room, and you just pass the controller. You next, and that was the era. You had a big ass bowl of cereal. You had some snacks. Your mom might make some sandwiches, or whatever it may be, and you got your buddies over. Y'all sleepovers. Can I stay at Mark's house tonight? Yeah, you say, yeah, we can play Sonic all night long. We can play Street Fighter, and that's our era. That's our era. We didn't have to where you sat on your couch cities away and I sat on my couch cities away and we just talked online. That's cool too. But that to me, that really kills the chemistry of gaming.
Yeah.
Look at Mario putting that in there. Shout out to Dr. Pepper. We need that sponsor. No.
That's what made the sleepovers dope though, man. Them when you ain't had a game and you can go to your homeboy house and stay over for the weekend and play. You ain't need but 2 or 3 controllers. You was good. That's what made the sleepover fun.
That's right.
They did.
That's right.
They did, man.
I can't remember the last time I took my kids or grandkids to a sleepover. They were going to stay the night with somebody. They don't do that mess no more. Everything online.
Yeah. Everything online, man. Everybody game online. And I think, online is a cool feature. When you have people that move away, you can still keep the connection. But it was that moment when you got out of school, especially if you stayed in the same neighborhood or a block away from your buddy, you could get on your bike, ride over there. You had 2 of your games in your backpack because, mom and dad back in the days didn't let you take all your games out because they paid all the money for them things. So you take out a couple of games, you got your little controller, and you just ride over to your buddy's house and, and you just plug it up and go. You didn't have to wait for downloads back then, people. This generation, millennials, we had to wait for downloads. We just boop and play. It comes up. And we had to wait for that. No Wi-Fi was needed, and we just got it in, man. You played 2-player games. That was our deal. You play 1-player game. You play till you die, till your characters die. Your character dies. Guess what? You get off that controller. You know what I'm saying? Get up off the controller. Right. We had that one older sibling. Well, let me show you how to do it. You ain't how to do it right. Let me show you how to do it. You got to do it like this. Nah, you trying to play it. Give me the damn controller. So,
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got that younger sibling with the controller that's not connected at all to the console.
Yeah, bro.
You're like, you got it, little Ray. Look at him go. Ray like, it ain't even lit up.
Oh, man. I feel bad. I be doing that now.
Oh my God, me too with my little youngest. And my youngest, he know there's a reaction when you push buttons. He like, this ain't reacting me pushing these buttons. Either this controller dead, daddy, or you give me a wrong one. I needed one that got batteries in it, Those are things that made gaming fun back in the days, bro. It's like,
man.
You wake up early on a Saturday, you watch He-Man or you watch Ninja Turtles, and then soon as that goes off, they got them infomercial come on. After the cartoons go off, you got the little daytime Maury and Ricky Lake. Back then, we watch them shits. We like, man, on this thing real quick. I ain't really and just jump the game. You had no school, or you couldn't wait to Friday. Friday night, you jumping on the console, you play all night, and wake up early though. Like you got a job to watch some cartoons because back in our era,
with your big bowl of cereal.
The earlier you wake up, the better the cartoon.
Big bowl.
The better the cartoon. You wake up at 10 o'clock, you missed it. Man, what time it is? 10. Shit, I missed it all. What you missed? I missed all of it. So you woke up early, played your card, ride bikes, go to your buddy's house, play games. I mean, I think about those eras, and I'm like, man, like that was the time to be alive because we didn't know the sacrifices our parents made till we became parents and realized, man, these consoles cost a bit. I really have I have a greater appreciation for our parents' sacrifice because them consoles were expensive and they went out there and bought it for us and they bought the games for us. And we was just so spoiled because we didn't have all of the games and we didn't realize them games were $79.99 then. So for us to have 3 or 4 of them, that was a hell of a parent to kind of pull that off. So hats off to our parents for even being able to make that sacrifice for us to be able to play these consoles and to play with our buddies and to have it because we now realize with phones now, it's not the console so much now, it's the phones, the iPhones, the new iPhone Pro Max and earbuds and all that cost so much money these kids want now. Back then, we got a console, we made it happen. As long as it wasn't an Atari, if we had a Sega, I was rocking with it. If it was a Nintendo, I was rocking with it because we made it the best. Nowadays, these kids get a game now, a console now, they got to have the headsets. They got to have the game. They got to have the subscription. They got to have the online. They got all this. It's literally an investment. And we as gamers ourselves, shout out to Alan yet again because Alan has by far the most iconic, if I would say, situation with gaming than any other human being I know. Because his whole household games, he have an excuse to buy any possible game he wants because his boys want him. If he don't have the money or he don't feel like he should spend the money on the game, you better believe Michael Gavin saved up. They're gonna buy it, and Alan gonna be like, you know what, son, I get this for you, and now I'm gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? So he have the best of the best situations. Everybody's a gamer. There's no questions to why I'm buying more games. So I'm jealous of you, Alan. One day we'll get there. My kids get old enough. Jealous, brother. So, with that being said, though, man, we've been on this for a while. I want us to know we got things to do. But before we wrap up, man, I want to make sure we kind of cover a little bit on action movies since I got in the title there. Real quick, like we're gonna do make it just a little quick. We talked about before solely about our favorite action heroes growing up. I think me and Mark kind of had a difference of action heroes. My favorite was Sylvester Stallone. To me, he's the GOAT. But then you have his argument was Jackie Chan could possibly be the GOAT. So then you had John Claude Van Damme, and you had Chuck Norris. You had everybody, that was doing it in the early 90s, man. Like, who's your go-to action hero solely back in the days, man? You love to see.
Oh, man, action hero. Because I got because John Claude Van Damme, I loved all these action heroes for countless reasons because I was a huge fan of Arnold,
yes,
John Claude, oh man,
it is.
But I can see how Mark can say Jackie Chan because Jackie did all his stuff. He did those stunts and everything. Very seldom he used somebody to come in and do it for him. So I'm gonna go with because you still got Steven Seagal. For that time period, I'm gonna say Steven
Seagal. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's cool.
That's cool. I rock with that because people don't realize Steven Seagal had quite a run, you know.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as agile
Right.
as some other guys, but he had quite a run. He was a 6 foot something white man with the slickest ponytail I ever seen in my life. And he was slow as all get out. But boy, when he catch one of those arms or legs, you felt for whoever he was fighting. You felt for that character. You like, oh God, I hope his family be okay after that. Because it was gonna be over with. He was like, oh God, he gave you the information already.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with him, man. And I always like going for the small guy because growing up that was always me. So him and Jackie, I think.
Yeah. Mark, who you got?
Me, if we say an American, and this gonna sound weird, man, but Cynthia Rothrock was my favorite, and she's a girl.
Yeah.
But she was all action. She wasn't nothing dramatic or anything like that. She was all action, and she was about a business. But if you saying worldly, then hands down is Jackie for me. Hands down. Jet, because he came a little later to America, that I can't count him. But technically he almost got the same length of run as Jackie.
He did.
He just got more overseas movies than he do American, you know what I mean? But Jackie came over here and was just as tough over here. So Jackie, to my eyes, I think is the best back then and now. Shoot.
And now, definitely
that
now,
dude rough.
Think about it. If you look back at his career, think about it. You're like, yeah, that's man. And my Jackie's, and people know me know Jackie's is my top 2 favorite of all time. Anything Jackie related, I rocks with. Sylvester Stallone was my favorite because Sylvester came out. He was an underdog in real life. You know, he wanted to be an actor for a long time and couldn't be an actor because he had a speech impediment. But long story short, when he came out with Rocky, it represented the underdog, in the story itself represents the story of an underdog. No matter what walk of life you from, you didn't have to be a boxer to relate to the movie Rocky, because life beat the shit out you, just like Rocky got his ass kicked. But he found a way to get back up and find a way to win, which Mark so eloquently put. It's all scripted, and of course he keep getting up because they know it.
I just hate that they put him in the boxing Hall of Fame
because he
and it was a movie script.
He inspired boxers. We know this. He inspired boxers, man. Like he inspired people to become boxers. He inspired.
Man, you ask any of them boxers. You ask any of them boxers who their inspiration is. Ain't none of them gonna say Rocky Balboa or Sylvester Stallone
or Creed.
Rocky Balboa got a statue in the city of Philadelphia. Do Mayweather have a statue where he's from? Do Ali got a statue? We know he got one. But do Mike Tyson have a statue? Does Sugar Ray Leonard have a statue? Do Lennox Lewis have a statue? No, they do not. Rocky.
But I always wondered about that statue. Like, did he pay for that statue himself?
No, the city put that there. The city dead ass put that there.
But why?
Because he represented the underdog.
Because Philadelphia don't got nothing else to celebrate.
They had the Eagles. The Eagles back then was pretty solid. But
I would have been okay. They would have put an Allen Iverson statue up.
Exactly.
Well, I mean that'd be nice too. I mean, yeah. But I mean, Rocky, think about it. Rocky kind of like made boxing mainstream to people that had nothing about boxing. And because when you watch the movie and you like, okay, say I've seen boxing, but people who are Sylvester Stallone's an actor and he brought boxing, that brought those two worlds together. For those who didn't really watch boxing, you or I, all three of us might have watched boxing growing up prior to that or whatever, but you got to think about it, bro. Like this dude brought in characters like like Clubber Lang, like he brought Clubber Lang to life. Mr. T, he brought him to life in that film world. He brought Hitman with Tommy. He brought him into the fold. So he really had a lot of really cool people that comes in. He brought Hollywood Hogan for a charity event. You know what I'm saying? He brought so many different people into that film or into that universe to where it represented. To me, Rocky is like on the same level to me as Naruto, as Goku from Dragon Ball, because all those guys was underdogs. Nobody was betting on them. And then Rocky, even in his prime, had the success story where you got too big and you had to be brought down. Clubber Lanes called him out in front of his statue reveal, told his wife, "I'll show you what a real man can do, baby." So it gave you that whole kind of like, I gotta put this man in check. It really just personified just success from rags to riches, from the mud to now. And Rocky represents a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be mad at Rocky for having a statue, or Mr. Sly for having a statue.
I ain't worried about the statue, but in the Hall of Fame of boxing, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I can't agree with that. Like, man, if like you just said, Chris, you think that they inspire people to box or inspire boxers, that people that never boxed before, but everybody else you name, they will be mentioned. Ain't nobody gonna say, "Yeah, I got into this because I watched Rocky," or "I got into this because Sylvester Stallone is dope like that." They ain't never gonna mention that dude, man. I don't understand the Hall of Fame. You gonna put a statue up of him, okay? I ain't
But
mad
he's
at him putting this.
okay. I'm about to hit him with it. I'm about to hit him with it. So he's my Uno card. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, rock and roll is, hear me out now, is geared towards rock and roll, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have people like Jay-Z, you have people like now Tupac, as of recently, has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, they ain't made no tracks with Sting. They ain't made no tracks with Led Zeppelin. They didn't make no tracks with Iron Maiden. They wasn't in any rock bands in the 80s and the 90s, any of the era, but they was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because they represent a form of music that was recognized widely by everyone. So they was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, we know rock and roll origins. We're not going to go there. However, rock and roll and hip hop are two different entities. However, they was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, a lot of people just had the same argument you having, that are rock and roll fans, nuts, still even got the hairdo, would say, when have they ever picked up a Stratus? When have they ever played the rock music? They're hip hop. How are they in this category? You see what I'm saying? Now, me, I'm applauded for them being in that category, because that's our category to begin with. But anyway, so with that being said, when Rocky was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame, it was because what he represented and what he represented in the world of boxing, not his records, not his fictional championships, not his fictional things, but what he represented as boxing. He represented the underdog in the sport of boxing, and people relate to that underdog spirit, and people hold that mentality true. Even modern boxers, I don't care who you ask, modern boxers has been inspired in any fashion or form by Rocky. And not saying that's why they box, but that inspired them to pick up gloves, to be who they are, because that mentality, he represented a mentality, not the fictional character, but a mentality, a mindset. That's why Rocky is who he is. That's why he got a statue. That's why many sitcoms who took place in Philadelphia, they did that same little run up the steps, and did the same little the same little celebration when they made it to the top of the steps. That's why his theme song is played in a lot of different movies, a lot of different sitcoms. The soundtrack itself has been sampled by so many hip hop artists because he represented a way of life. And that's why Rocky is who he is. Go ahead, Mark. You gonna say something crazy. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Chris, I think you're the only person in the South that agree with that. that
I'm just
that don't
saying.
matter to nobody else up north or anywhere else, bro. Nobody. If you was boxing somebody and beat them up, who you gonna say? Probably Ali or Tyson. Yeah, I knocked them out.
Yeah.
If you was on the basketball court and
Mhm.
you drank one, who you gonna say?
Jordan,
Probably
Kobe.
Jordan,
But
Kobe.
but
Hold
do that
on.
mean? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nobody refers to Balboa or Sylvester Stallone unless you in Philadelphia around that statue. Them boys probably feel like me. I beat Rocky up.
Sure they could, but it's not about his skill as a fighter. It's what he represented. I mean,
What are you saying? Like he inspired because he was an underdog
it's an
and
underdog mentality.
overcame something.
Overcame. Think about like, remember that movie? Solely might laugh at me with this one. Remember that movie, Angels in the Outfield?
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. So that movie, the message in that movie was, don't matter what the odds are, you still got to believe, right? And that's the message of the whole film. Same thing with Rocky. Don't matter what you stacked up against, you got to come out the gate swinging and just feel like I'm going to win, And that's the mentality that Rocky used. Like, he even have a lot of bits that was taken from his movie that was used in different platforms. When he had this little famous speech where he said, "If life hits you and knocks you down, it's not about how hard you hit, but it's how hard you can get hit and get back up." So Rocky itself, it represents a way of life. You know what I'm saying? Not him as a fighter, not him as a character, not him as Sylvester Stallone going in today to work on the set. It was just the message the movie gave you. And that's what people rock with. That's what people cling to, was the message that Rocky presented. No matter what the odds are, I'm going to give it my all. Win or lose, I'm going to give it everything I got. And that's the message it gave. So, yes, just like any other fictional movie we watch, none of it's real, but it all motivated us in some fashion or form.
So you're saying it's kind of like Will Ferrell in
Talladega Nights.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about what's like one of his first movies? Oh God, when he was a musician.
Oh God. Dog, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the dude's name.
I'm trying to find it, but okay, so he had all them things going on with him. If y'all don't remember the story, so his brother got chopped in half.
Oh, that's John C. Reilly.
No.
John C. Reilly.
Yep.
That because John C. Reilly was his right hand man at Talladega Nights.
Okay.
Walk hard.
Walk hard.
Walk hard. That's
right.
it.
All right. So he couldn't smell. Right. He couldn't smell. His
Right.
brother got chopped in half.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
His dad disowned him.
Right.
He was on drugs.
Right.
All these things happened to my man.
Right.
And walk hard.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna announce him, and he gonna get a Grammy this year.
Right.
You know how mad I would be as an actual musician.
Well, think about it. Think about what you just said. You just gave your answer, Lee. He lost his brother. His brother was cut in half.
I'm done.
Mark,
I'm gonna catch you later.
Man, that's an average rapper. That's the life of a rapper. And he still prevailed. Nigga couldn't smell. He couldn't smell. He didn't know if the punani was stank or not. He was still going in. And this brother won a Grammy. Let that man win his Grammy. His life was hard. You knew how hard his life was. You gonna just take all that away from him. Was your brother chopped in half? Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Yeah, you can. And you gonna try to take away all this man credit. Just aside. Take all the shit he went through and then try to say, if he won,
Man, we can't tell Chris nothing about Sly, bro.
Yeah, but I do get where you come from. I get it. A fictional character got no business being in a real world scenario when other boxers could be nominated into the Hall of Fame. He got over other boxers who really dedicated their real life faces, their lives, their careers, and to see a fictional character who had no time in the streets, no time in the real ring to get nominated, and they feel slighted because they like, you ain't really put in this work. You just acted that you put in this work. You ain't really put it in. You was an actor.
Right.
You went home to your mansion with your makeup off. Your face wasn't busted up, but mine, here I am. I'm trying to drink through a straw because I put in that work. Why are you in the Hall of Fame and not me? So I do get that. I do recognize that. But that goes back to what I was saying. It's the mindset to why these characters are inducted. It's the image or the message that they portray. Just like you have people like Kobe Bryant or LeBron James who won Humanitarian of the Year awards, other things that had nothing to do with basketball, but because what they represented as a mindset. Michael Jordan, what he represented as a mindset. People use Jordan's mindset daily, and it's not related to basketball. You know what I'm saying? They use that mentality that Kobe Bryant has, that Cobra mentality, that Black Mamba mentality. I'm going to work so damn hard till I have no choice but to be the best. That's the mentality that Kobe Bryant has. And people use that mentality in music. They use that mentality in football. They use that mentality in gaming. They use that mentality in marriage. Use mentality in jobs. That Kobe mentality is used across the board in any fashion or form. So it's a mindset that people cling to. It's an image that people cling to. Just like when you think about all these great artists of all time, when you think about people like Michael Jackson, you know, he's a perfectionist. He's known for being a perfectionist. He got to get it right no matter what. And their mindset is what people cling to. And you can get inspiration from anything. We are all nerds. So we get inspiration from games, from movies, from anime. And you can pull inspiration from anybody. It doesn't mean you got to be a martial artist to get inspiration from Jackie Chan. You don't have to be a martial artist to get inspiration from Naruto or anything like that. It's just what they represent. When I first heard the speech with Goku, when he spoke to Frieza about what he represented and who he was to his family and friends and how he would lay down his life, I don't give a damn who you are as a nerd. That sends shockwaves through everybody because you related to that in real life. You related to that speech in life. You know what I'm saying? Granted, this is a character that was drawn up and he's not a real life character, but what he said resonated, you know, or with Naruto, when his mind said, I'm going to be the best, no matter how many of y'all don't like me, I'm going to be the best. And Mark, as you know, he ended up being the GOAT and everybody had no choice but to look up to the brother. So that meant mindset. When I watch stuff like Naruto and I'm like, damn, I see what all he goes through and so much pent against him, so many people pent against him, they hate him. And he said, by all means necessary, I'm going to be a Kage. No matter if you don't like me, my mindset is my mindset. And that's what sells. And when him being, and I agree, he shouldn't be abducted over. He should be an honoree or maybe like a fictional key to the city, if you will. But that's why people kind of have that statue, because what he represented. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. I know any average boxer could whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? I know that any Joe in any gym in his prime or as now can whoop his ass. We know this. But we're not saying him as the actor. We're just saying the fictional character, what he represented. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you, Chris. I just like to mess with you about Sly, man. That's all.
No, because Sly to go. That's all it is.
No.
I mean,
but you know, my favorite right now is Donnie Yen. Well, it's a tie between him and Michael Jai White, but Jai don't work as much as
Donnie Yen
as Donnie does.
Donnie get better.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah. Donnie Yen's the guy now. It's his time now. You know, IP Man definitely put him on the map far as everybody, because we knew of him in prior films, you know, Iron Monkey and everything else. But, you know, to see him now really take advantage of his spotlight until they found some dirt on him, pull out on Mr. Donnie Yen and try to drag him down.
Oh,
right.
Until then, you know, say he's good. But yeah, that's my guy, man. Like, I rock with him. I mean, it's a lot of action honorees. We have action hero honorees we have not named, because in the 90s and the early 2000s, quite a few. I mean, I believe right now, what's his name? Mr. John Wick himself. You know, Keanu Reeves, if he wasn't in that conversation. He's definitely is now. Because if you go back to Matrix, if you think about it, and I'll say this and we wrap up, but he single-handedly changed cinematography forever. You know, he changed the way movies were shot, scenes were shot. That scene off the Matrix with that famous freeze screen when they circle around the character before they kick, that was something you ain't never seen prior. And you see many other movies implement that same style, try to duplicate what they done. Or you see here, if you see John Wick, all the John Wick fight scenes are all iconic fight scenes that you haven't seen done similarly in any other film. And, especially in the last one, and I'm not gonna spoil it for Mr. Solie, but that car scene, that scene there, I don't care what you've never seen a scene shot quite like that before. And or the house, how the camera view, like you've never seen shit like that before. And to see how that was in that film, all I could do is sit in that theater like, God damn it, he did it again. You know, and it's like and you see movies he made, you're gonna think there's gonna be somebody try to recapture that lightning in the bottle. And he has made movies where people try to recapture what he done. And some was just as successful or not as successful. So I think he should be an honoree for the Expendables, Mr. Sly. He should be an honoree. Jackie Chan, shame on you for not having Jackie Chan in any of the Expendables, because he should have been up there, in my opinion, ahead of Jet Li, but, you know, respectfully. But I just think, you know, they should do another Expendables and kind of expand that. I don't think Michael Jai White was in one. They should get Michael Jai White in one. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been getting busy, Mr. Sly. I think you've been looking over my peoples, you know. So Cynthia Rothschild passed away, didn't she?
Hell no.
She still here? Damn.
Yeah,
boy.
she still look young.
She probably can't kick as high, but get her out there too as well.
Shitting me.
The big mysterious. But you know, but with that being said, we wrap that up. But I want to kind of have Solie to give his closing remarks as far as where to find his channel at, or where to find his stuff as well.
You can find me on Instagram on the number one Superband Music. On Facebook, Solie and the Superband. Type in Solie and the Superband anywhere, you'll see me.
You heard what he said. You heard that. You type it anywhere. Type it in Google, Bing, wherever you want to. This brother famous. I told y'all that's my famous friend. Y'all don't believe the fuck I mean, dog. Like Red may know these things. That's what famous do. But anyway, so I got two of my famous friends on here. I got Solie is blowing up, man, with his music, man. It's phenomenal, man. Like, check out his stuff. Check out his music. Support him, man, because local artists need to support. Don't support this brother when it's too late, because he gonna look at you like you know who you are. So support him now. You know what I'm saying? You know, while you putting in that work, putting in that grind. And I make Solie, Mr. Dewey Cox from Walk Hard will not get abducted over you.
Oh, you threw that in there.
But he did have a hard life. You can't discredit what that man he got it in the middle.
Oh man.
So Mr. Mark, man, let us know where you find you at on your social media, man.
Man, I don't have a whole lot of social media, man. I just appreciate y'all having me on today, man. Really, I really enjoyed this conversation, man. I wish we had a little longer to go. I know we got a lot more stuff to talk about, but I gotta respect it. But Solie, man, I gotta get at you, man. I'm learning guitar now, so come get some pointers from you, yeah.
Oh, sure.
So I can get at you, brother.
Gotcha, man. Hey, well, we'll be teaching each other, because that's one that I don't know how to play. It's guitar.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Bass, piano, drums, all the other stuff. But guitar, that's some hard stuff.
Yeah, I told him
it is.
Yeah, but maybe Guitar Hero we can chop it up. But I want to learn too, Mark. When I seen Purple Rain and see Prince, man, I want to be like that, man. I want to one of these days we get the time. But yeah, if y'all could, before we wrap up, since we are talking about gaming, I'm gonna start with Mr. Mark. If you could drop your gaming handles for your, I'm assuming Xbox, because that's what you mainly own.
Yeah.
Those who want to link up with us in the fighters, you know, if you want to challenge these boys on your own, you know.
Biggest Walk 4406. That's my gamer tag on Xbox. And Nintendo Switch. I ain't up currently on the PlayStation right now, but Biggest Walk 4406.
All right. So Lee, what's that handle?
So on mine on PlayStation is MusicMan20, and that's MUZICMAN20. And that's get at me on PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, mine is K Ward 2088. I don't have a cool name like theirs. I was rushing to set up my PlayStation and I can't change it. So you can find mine there as well. K Ward 2088 there. That's my PlayStation. On my Xbox, it is Omega King X22 on Xbox as well. So if y'all want to freeze frame, replay that back at us, kind of challenge us in fighters, hey man, maybe y'all can skunk us, maybe y'all can beat us. Let's see what's up. But with that being said, see y'all next time. I appreciate y'all boys, man, for joining in. This was an episode I could not wait to do. And I'm glad y'all made out the time to do so. So peace, love. Make sure y'all share this, man, because we need the coverage. So peace.
Got you.
Peace out.
All right.
All right.